this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm back again with my little snippet roll that we made using the pressed flowers. And so far we'd made these little bits and pieces here. Now I have to say it's been several, well actually a couple of weeks since I've played with any of these because I've been busy doing other kind of projects. So as with all these things, I now need to kind of like refocus and get back in the zone of using these kinds of things. Let me just raise my camera slightly. Oops, I'm so sorry. You have full view of my cup of tea now. So I've just brought along a couple of things that I thought would be really nice to use with the remaining piece of the snippet roll. I mean, obviously there's not a great deal left now. We're just literally down to kind of the little bottom piece. So I've got one of these envelopes. We made these recently in the mass make and whoops, I haven't actually finished assembling this one. So I'll just quickly do that. And this is using the brown bees and butterflies papers. And I just thought actually this is going to just look lovely with that snippet roll. So yeah, it just kind of complements it really, really well, doesn't it? So let's just pop that down. Okie dokie. There we go. And then I'm just going to stick the flap down as well, like that. Okay, right. Let me just glue that down with my, oh, what do you call it? Dry wipe. Dry wipe. Oh, why I even forgot the term for that is beyond me. Okay, right. And then I'm thinking kind of use probably this portion of the snippet roll, so tear it down kind of roughly here. Looks good to me. So yeah, let's go with that. Might have to take it down slightly smaller still, but I mean, doesn't that just go absolutely brilliantly well? Because obviously we've got the butterfly, you know, we've got the yellow picked up from here, all the colours, they just complement each other really, really, really brilliantly. So I won't bother putting anything on here because this will obviously cover up that flap. Now I just have to remind myself, did I cover some of these bits with gold? I'm only wondering because I'm very into using the gold at the moment. So yeah, I just wondered whether I'd used any gold. It doesn't look like I have. So yeah, I just couldn't remember. I honestly just, you know, couldn't remember what I had been doing. I've done some other things where I've used some gold recently and yeah, when I kind of picked these up, I thought, oh, was this the bits that I've used the gold for? And actually, it would all go really, really well with the gold, wouldn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to literally glue this down. Now, I'm just going to use my hot glue, and I say this all the time, I'm like a scratch record, but honestly, I'm just using my hot glue because it's just so quick and easy. I don't have to worry, you know, has it glued down or anything? It has glued down, you know. So when you're doing videos, it's just awesome. But, you know, I mean, of course, if you don't have a hot glue gun, you know, that's fine. You don't have to have one. And I'm also aware that, you know, not everybody really likes the hot glue guns. So, you know, please don't feel like, oh, no, I haven't got a hot glue gun. Honestly, you don't have to use them. They're just, oops, I do really like using them. And especially when you're doing a video because they just make it very, very effortless. Because you know that everything's going to be stuck down properly. Right, I'm just having a look now to see what I want to put up here. I'm thinking maybe a label. Obviously, when I did the other couple of pieces that we've done, I hadn't even created these labels. So this is kind of handy because I've now got something different and something extra to use that I didn't have previously. So yeah, that's kind of worked out really well. Right, let's take this one. Oh my goodness, it's so hot up here. We're having like a little mini heat wave. And yeah, I mean, as I always say, there's my disclaimer. I am filming ahead. I'm pretty confident that by the time this goes out, the heat wave will have well and truly left us. And, you know, we'll probably be in the throes of autumn, you know, good and proper by the time that this goes out. So please don't think I'm lying. I'm not lying. We do have a heat wave as I'm currently filming. But yeah, I'm well aware that it's probably going to have gone by the time that this goes up. Right. I had been using, oh, I thought I'd been using this, but actually I hadn't. But there's no reason I couldn't use this. Oh, I'm going to use that because it looks very, very striking, doesn't it? So yeah, let's go around there. Just pop that little label down there. Okay. I'll just have a sip of my tea quickly. Okay. And then we'll just glue this down across the top. Like that. Okay. Just cut that down. Like that. Okay. How pretty does that look? Now, I'm just wondering whether I've got any more of those little yellowy coloured fabric trim flowers that I had been using, because maybe one of those would just finish this off perfectly. Now the question is where to have that. I'm liking it in multiple places. I love it down there. Let me just see if I've got another one floating around, because I mean, I have got a whole, you know, strip of it, but I don't want to have to go and get it, because I'm trying to do my videos lately where I'm not having to rejoin them, or, you know, join them, because it obviously is so much quicker if you don't have to join your videos together. You know, then it means they can be uploaded without kind of being edited. I mean, unless there's something terrible that needs editing out. But I mean, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed they don't need editing. So it just makes it so much easier and quicker, you know, if you haven't got things that need taken out. Oh, that's a bit too in your face, isn't it? That gold. Yeah, right. Okay, we won't go for that. Let me just have a quick look in my little bag that I take to my mum's house and see if I've got any of that flower trim in there. No, can't see any in there either. Oh, that's annoying. I felt sure that I had some floating around somewhere. I mean, I probably, oops, yep, I have, look. Just a couple. That's all I need. I only need one, in fact. Well, I'll keep them here because I might need another one on the next piece. Yeah, quite like that. So, again, we're going with more is more, so we're having two. One down there, and then this one over there. Okay. Oh, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Yeah, love how that looks. Really, really, really pretty. Okay, so that one is done. Now, the other two bits that I brought along, because I thought, let's be really efficient and prep ahead, you know. So I just brought along a couple of pieces that had been kind of, you know, prepped ahead, that I thought that we could just use these last bits of the snippet roll on. So I've got this one, which, you know, I would just use this as like maybe a little pocket, or, you know, you could use it as a journaling card. Just need to decide really, you know, how I'm going to use it. If I'm going to have it as a journaling card, obviously it would need backing, which is fine. So yeah, let's have a look, and perhaps I would just back it. So I've just got some paper here, which is like an offcut from something. Oh no, that's not big enough. Oh, that's so annoying. Just had to kind of snip it off of something, and yeah, now that's not big enough. Oh, I felt sure that that was going to be the right size. Goes to show, doesn't it? Sometimes you can just misjudge things completely. Right, what have I got here? Okay, I've got some of this internal envelope. I've been using this a lot lately to back journaling cards, so let's just do that, shall we? Okay. Sorry about knocking my tea there. Okay. Just pop that one down like that. Okay. Where's my wipe now? Oh, this is now silly, isn't it? I've now mislocated my wipe. I had it here like literally 2 seconds ago, and now it's gone. What have I done with that? Oh, it's probably dropped on the floor, truth be known. Oh well, let's just go for the squishing out method. Okay, right. So squishing out method here like this. Right, okay. Okie dokie, right. Let's just cut this down. Okay. And again, I always like to just go in a fraction. And it just helps it stay glued down slightly better, I find. So just literally over by a millimetre, it kind of takes you in to hit the glue line just a little bit better than you maybe would otherwise. Okay, so that's my little journaling card. Super cute. And right, now got these labels here that are left. Now, do I want to have, yeah, let's tear it down about here. I'm thinking that's quite nice on there, isn't it? Oh, I love that. Right, let me just get rid of this white edge here. So I'm just going to ink that up actually to get rid of that. Just because, you know, where I've torn it previously, it's obviously got then a little bit of white showing from like the core of the paper. So we'll just get rid of that. Okay, right. Again, it's hard to remember. I don't think I've been actually inking the pieces too much. Or maybe I have actually. Can't remember, I'm afraid. Okay, right. Oh, always good to have a cup of tea to just revive you. Oh, that's yummy, isn't it? Okay. So I'm just going to trim this down slightly more here because it's a little bit skewy. Okay. Yeah, looking good. And then do we want to have like a label or anything? So if I have that there, just wondering, not that because it's a bit small. I've just got this little journaling cardy one. So, oh my goodness, I could do with putting my glasses down. Hold on. Oh, it makes such a difference, honestly. Right, let's just cut around there. Okay, around that bit. Okie dokie, right. Oh, do you know, I think that's too big on there. Yep, it's too big. So, yep, I don't think we'll go for that at all. I think we might just go for the lace and possibly even just one of these. I know that's really boring, but, you know, sometimes you've just got to go with what looks best, haven't you? Yeah, I think that actually looks best, to be honest. What do you guys think? I'm definitely liking this. You know, just the simplicity, just it looks best, doesn't it? So yeah, let's just pop that over. Oh gosh, got a big bit of glue coming out there. Okay, just mop that bit of hot glue up. Okay, and often you can just kind of pick that hot glue off, to be honest, like that. When it's first on there, without it kind of tearing the paper. Once it's dried, you know, and gone hard, if you do that, you're going to tear your paper. But whilst it's still wet, you can sometimes manage to kind of almost like scrape it back off. So yeah. Okay, right, let me finish my tea. Oh, I obviously hadn't stirred that particularly well because there was a big load of sugar in the bottom, which actually I always think is a lovely bonus if you get then a big load of sugar. Okay. Oh dear. I can kind of see where that's so skewiff now. A bit worse on the back. Oh well. Right, let's just ink this up and you know, hopefully disguise that a little bit. Okey-dokey. Yeah, okay, so that's really nice. Right, let me just get my blue lace again. Just pop that down here. Okay, and we will just pop that on down there like that. Snip that off. Okay, and this one. Okay, that looks good, doesn't it? And we'll just put a little bit more glue down there. Okay, and then we've got that flower like that. Now, just going to see, because I'm just having a look on here. I think we've been adding quite a few bows and things like that, haven't we? By the looks of things. I probably haven't got any more bright bows actually that are going to be suitable colour, because it looks like I've used quite a lot of turquoise ones, so the likelihood of still having some is probably unlikely. But let's just have a quick look. Quick look and see. Oops. No. Oops. Got that gorgeous green, but of course that's, you know, that's too green. So yeah. No. No more turquoise ones. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Okay, that is a shame. But, you know, that's fine. I don't think it necessarily needs anything, to be honest. It looks lovely as it is. Let me just pop that to one side. Okay, yeah, we're just going to pop that bow down, I think, up there. Bow. Flower. Oops. Nearly popped it down upside down. Okay. Right. So that's just like a little journal card now. So yeah, I love how that looks. Okay, so then the last little piece of that snippet roll is this piece here. And I've got here one of those little booklet pieces that's got then the 3 pockets in there. So I thought it just looks quite nice on there. This one we probably can have this as like, oops, as like a journaling label on there. And then that's just making some sort of, you know, like focal point. Although actually now I'm thinking maybe I prefer a different one. Try this one. It's just fractionally brighter. And I thought actually this one might look better colour-wise. I think this will bring more out of it. So let's just cut that round. Okay. Like that. Okie dokie. Oops, didn't make a very good job of cutting that one, but never mind. Never mind. Oh, I quite like that. So let me just ink up the edge of here again, because you know, where it's been torn, it's just got that kind of, you know, white edge showing. So we'll just ink that up. Then we can just have that, I think, there. And then let's just cut this down. Okay. Yeah, I mean, hopefully these videos for you guys will go up kind of all pretty close together. For me, obviously, this has been now ages since I've actually touched any of these bits. So, oh, it's just really weird. When you go back to stuff, you know, it's shocking how quickly you forget. And then you're like, oh, you know, what was I doing there? How was I making kind of bulk, you know, the bulk of that stuff? Was I adding this? Was I adding that? It's, yeah, it's weird how quickly you forget, you know, and just sort of how much difference that then makes, you know, to making all the bits and pieces. Right, let's just have a look. Let's ink this up. Oops, got something now stuck on my hand. Okay, right. Okay, maybe like that. Oh, I don't know now. That's quite nice actually. Maybe like that. And then I'm just wondering further down whether we could have a bit of the turquoise lace to kind of like tie it all together. It's not actually got a great deal of turquoise in this one, has it? Well, it's got no turquoise whatsoever in this one. So that maybe is, you know, a bit out of place there perhaps. Yeah, I'm wondering if that's actually not quite right on there at all. So let's just have a look here. This blue coffee dyed lace, which obviously does marry up with that. So I'm just wondering. I'm feeling that this looks a little bit on the drab side. What do you guys think? I feel like it needs something, you know, vibrant and turquoise to, you know, bring it out of itself. So, yeah, bring it out of its shell. Let's have a look and see. I use, that's a bit bluey green and that's a bit blue. Right, let me just cut this one down and see. Because it might be okay, or it might not. But, you know, again, don't know unless you try, do you? So, let's cut that down. Okay. Right, let's just snip this one down. Okay, and then just ink around here. Maybe I need it up there, and then could I then have the turquoise at the bottom? Or I could have the turquoise up here and this at the bottom. That's quite nice. What do we think? Oh, you know what else I could do? I could have some more of that beautiful teal stamping. Let's do that, because it just needed something else teal, didn't it? Yeah, definitely needs something else teal on there. So, oh, what shall I have? What shall I have? Been using, what have I been using on here? Been using some delicate sort of corners, I think. So let's have, you know, continue with the delicate type theme. So I'm thinking use this one here. Okay, and we're going to put that there. And then let's do one over here. Oops. Oh gosh, come on. Oh, it's really muggy today. It feels like it needs to storm. So yeah, kind of hoping it does actually, because it needs something. Ooh, needs something to clear, you know, clear the mugginess. It's like, oh, horrible and muggy. It's, you know, horrible when it gets like that, isn't it? Right, okay. So now I'm thinking this here with the turquoise lace, or we could have the turquoise lace. Oh, that's nice. In the halfway point. This, oh, turquoise label. Come down, come down. Maybe there. And that there. Wonder if we could have this here as well. What do we think? It looks good now, doesn't it? Absolutely love the turquoise along this line in the middle. Really looks perfect there. So let's pop that down. Okay, let me check now. So we'll pop this one down. Oops. Okie dokie. And this is going to go here. Like that, okay. Yep, looking good. And then I'm just going to see if this would look better actually here. Oh, that's a bit hidden, isn't it? Bit hidden there. But we're going to have this on here as well. or would we be better off having this like that? Can't decide actually. So let's get this one stuck down next. Okay. So we just pop this one down here like that. Okay, press that down nicely. Okay. Actually, we did also use quite a few of the neutral bows, didn't we, in the earlier pieces? So let me just bring in, got some of those. And just leave this on here for a minute. Right, let's cut one of these out. Okay. Probably the smaller one of these two, because that one I think is just going to be a little bit too big, but we'll see. So these are from my Bright Butterflies, and these are the page of kind of neutrally ones. You get like 2 pages of brights. One is slightly muted. I mean, they're still bright, but very slightly muted. The others are super, super bright. And then you get a page of kind of the same ones, but they're in neutral brights, if that makes sense. So they're not like a pale neutral. They're like these, like a sort of vividy, you know, field type colours, I guess I would call these. Yeah, like field colours. Right, okay. Move that. Oh, sorry, we have a siren now going past. Right, let's cut this lace, because that's now annoying, isn't it? Hang in there. Oops. Right. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I quite like everything being piled on, to be honest, in the same sort of place. I don't know. I think there's something quite nice about that, but then I moved it down there and thought, I quite like it down there as well now. So now I'm a bit stumped. I'm not sure where I like it best. Let me just ink up this bit of this butterfly. Okay, and then we're going to just have the flower here. Oh, I don't know. Let me just try it again. I think this is better down there. It's yeah, it's a bit too much, isn't it, if it's all piled in together, I think. Because then you've just got this whole corner with like nothing really going on, which then that's just silly, isn't it? Why have we got everything in one corner going on and then nothing down here whatsoever? Okay, so that's nice. And then, do you know, I'm thinking something else teal actually here. So do we want the same, i.e., you know, another one of those corners, or do we want like some script? Oh, I think the same corner. The same corner. Let's just do another one of those. Okay. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Right, let's get rid of that teal off here. Okay. And then the butterfly. Whoops, the butterfly. Oh, gosh. Stop sticking on me. Yeah, let's have the butterfly up there. Like that. And then the flower, I think, down there. And that just, you know, finishes that off really nicely, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do that. So pop the flower down there. And then I'm just going to ink around the edge to kind of make that all look a bit more grungy. Because now I've decided, actually, I think everything did have quite a grungy feel. So, of course, I want to now continue with that with these pieces as well. So, yeah. Oops. And, you know, just kind of go inside as well when you've got bits like this. So, okay. And just down here. Okie dokie. How gorgeous does that look? So let's check out the bits that we made today, and we could actually even have a look and see all the bits that we've made. So let's just quickly clear the decks a little bit and pull back in all of those bits that we've made. So these are the bits that we've made today, just these three, which are just gorgeous, aren't they? But look at all the wonderful bits that we've made all together from that lovely snippet roll. So, and most of these were all ready-made ephemera pieces that we have just brought together by adding parts and sections of that snippet roll. Aren't they just absolutely gorgeous? I really, really, really love all of these bits and pieces. Love the colour scheme, love the pressed flowers, you know, the addition of the pressed flowers. And yeah, just really pretty. And obviously that snippet roll just has made them all come together just so quickly and easily. So yeah, I hope that you really like the bits that we've made. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys again soon. Thanks then. Bye.